What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Miles of Horror. Maybe you got something fun here. Let's go with this. So appreciate you guys hanging out. It's Sunday night. We're getting snowed in here over on the East Coast, getting slammed with snow once again. So yeah, I mean, typically I do my Sunday Spookies earlier in the day, but I got word that I was out, I'm home tomorrow. I'm not even working tomorrow. I'm a teacher here in New York City, and we are off tomorrow. So I was like, I'm gonna bump Spookies till later in the night. I do have a special guest coming on momentarily, which is super exciting. So you guys will you'll be excited when he drops in just a minute. But yeah, I mean, I got the notification that I'm off tomorrow, so I figured I would have a little snow party, guys. Have a little snow fun, get shackled in together, talk about some pickups, some watches, some things that are on my mind. So what do you want to talk about? Just some things that are on my mind, physical media stuff, horror movie stuff, and go from there. We got one person here hanging out at the moment. What up? What up? What up? Track days. What up? What up? Thanks for popping in, man. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday Spookies. Hopefully, you're doing okay with the snow. Because we're getting slammed here over in New York City, man. I'm looking out my window and we're getting slammed. So, yeah, appreciate you hanging out. Let's get into some stuff here. So what do I want to talk about? First, right off the bat, Stranger Things on physical media. There's been some things that have been popping up lately that I want to share with you guys. Ways to own Stranger Things on physical media. DVD and VHS. Nothing, past those initial Blu Ray sets that they put out, but Stranger Things has been getting some love. So if you're someone who's a big Stranger Things fan, but you are like, you don't really have a way to watch it outside of Netflix because they're not doing the physical media thing right now. There are a couple ways to grab it. That's the first thing that I want to kind of talk about. So let's get into it. So there's two ways, right? If you've been like following the physical media journey on Stranger Things, they did put out 2 Blu-ray releases. Also, for those that are just popping in, what up, what up? I'm gonna have a special guest here shortly that you don't want to miss, so hang tight. But we're talking Stranger Things physical media because for the most part, it's been pretty barren. They put out these 2. I have them on my shelf somewhere, but I didn't have time to really grab them. They put out 2 Blu-ray sets of seasons 1 and 2, and they were kind of like retro style VHS packaging. It was super cool. I have both sets, and they are super cheap. Like if you want to get the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray, go to eBay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get it for like $5 even. It's super, super cheap. But give me 1 second, guys. Chris just showed up, so I'm just gonna hop him in real quick.
What up?
Yo.
What's going on?
Chilling, man. What's up? How you been?
Snowed in, bro. Left work early,
Yeah, we're getting slammed, dude.
Dude, you guys are like lockdown.
Yeah.
I saw your mayor's first official full school day tomorrow.
Yeah. Last so that snowstorm we had like a month ago, where we got slammed. Also, we had a remote day, so I was at home working, and now we just got word today that like it's a first official like real snow day. So I'm home, man. I'm chilling. I figured what better way, than to cozy up with some people and talk movies, talk some physical media.
Hell yeah, dude. I know I'm freezing. I gotta get a sweatshirt or something. God damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's been up, dude?
Yeah. Anyway, if you guys are unfamiliar with Chris does a lot of awesome things. He's got a few different podcasts. I feel like I can't even keep up anymore. You have so many things going on. You just dropped something new with Disconnected, right?
Well, we just did the Shelf Shock Rewind Awards, which is the annual physical media awards show. So I did that. I hosted that with him a couple weeks ago. And other than that, man, just Beyond the Blood, staying strong, which you've been on. You were in season 1.
Yeah, I always think of another door every single time. Like I think about that podcast, or like anytime I like see your face, I'm like another door.
Another door. Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man, how that was what I think episode Jesus 3 or 5 for us. And to think of how much the show has changed since then. Now we're on season 3. It's
Yeah,
crazy, man. It feels like yesterday we did that.
yeah. So that was I was on season 1, episode 3. Is that what it was, or
I think it
episode
was
2 or
episode
3?
Yeah, I think it was episode 3 because we did Spider Labyrinth. We did Yeah, it must have been 3 because 4 was My Bloody Valentine. Oh no, 2 was My Bloody Valentine. I forget now. I forget.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. I had fun.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude. And since then, we've been trading movies and
Yeah,
it's been a fun
that was
time, man.
actually when I was going through topics for today, and I like have like a short list, guys. So forgive me, but when you were like, I'm gonna hop on, I was like, wait a minute, trading. We got to talk about trading because you and I have done a few trades now.
We have, yeah. I just got yours. Hold on, let me.
Oh, nice.
I'll save those for when you want me to show them off.
Word. So anyway, yeah. So Chris, thanks for hanging out, man. Chris just hit me up on Instagram like a few minutes ago. Was like, yo, you want to guest for your show? I was like, hell yeah, bro. Let's fucking do it.
I was like, oh, I'm home. I was like, let me see what's. I know. We talked before about me coming on, right?
Yeah,
I think for one of the weeks. I was like, oh, I'm home. Whatever.
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad you're on. I've been trying to get you on for sure. I just think timing hasn't really worked out. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's hard, man. Like it's hard to like preload a show. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, like when you get older, like so many things come up and this and that. So sometimes like the impromptu show is like badass.
Dude, it's so hard to do. As somebody who like most of my time is spent trying to get guests for the podcast, it is incredibly difficult to do. And then even when you do have things planned, it's like work and life just keeps pushing things back, and you feel awful when it happens, but it happens. What can you do?
So 100%. I was scheduled to be on the Dread broadcast a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you're familiar with them, and they do awesome stuff. Like super super cool channel. Definitely check them out, guys. If you're not familiar, it's called the Dread broadcast, and they do like big panels, like 7 or 8 people at a time. And I was a guest on that panel a couple weeks ago, and I got hit with this nasty cold, like nasty cold. And it was the second time that I had been on that something came up. I was like, listen, like I'm gonna do the show because like I just can't. I don't want to cancel on you again, but I might not last the night, And so I stayed for a little bit, but like it's just hard, man.
Yeah, I was on, I think, their inaugural episode because I've done a few episodes with Tim's been on the podcast from the Average Reviews, who hosts that. He was on the Pet Cemetery 2 episode. And then I was just on with them a couple nights ago. We did My Bloody Valentine.
Nice.
Yeah, those are, dude, the Dread broadcast is so sick. Having a panel that big with that many people talking about movies is so cool.
Yeah, they do awesome things. And what's even cooler is so we did I think his name is Joseph Farron, I want to say. So I was on that panel with I think his name is Joseph Farron. Something Farron. Chad Farron.
Okay.
And he's a writer, director, etc. And I'm talking to him, and he I didn't really know who he was, and I tried to do some research before, but they were talking about his new movie coming up. So I was okay, I'm gonna check out this new movie, etc. And turns out he directed the old ones. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie. It was a Dark Star OCN partner label release, and which I own. I actually gifted it to my buddy Jordan. And so I've seen one of his movies, and then the next day, OCN released another movie of his, and I was like, wait a minute, I was just on a freaking panel with this dude last night. And it was so cool. Like it was really cool to have like been on a panel with someone that was dropping movies in OCN,
Yeah, that's how it feels, man. Anytime you talk to somebody who's like, we talked to Anthony Cousins on the show, and the next thing I know, Frogman Returns is like everywhere. It's blowing up. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, yeah, had a cool conversation with this guy. It feels weird. It feels like, and especially now when we have Monster Mania coming out a couple weeks here. We just got tickets for today. And there's a couple guests that are going to be there that we've had on the podcast. And I'm like, do I go up? Like, do I wait in line and be like, hey, remember when we, what I mean? I'm like, what do I do at this point?
No, you're VIP, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just jump the line. I'll go right up front, man.
Yeah. It's cool stuff, man. Yeah, and that's what I love about the horror community. Like it's so funny. I still feel like when I bring someone like you on, or whoever in the horror community, like, I feel like I'm bringing on a celebrity. Like, I really do. Like, guys, Chris Higgins is hopping on tonight. I was like, I got a special guest tonight. I really do feel like in the horror community, like we are voices. People want to be friendly with us, etc. So, you are VIP, man. You are.
Well, dude, same with you. I mean, when you said yes to coming on the podcast, I was so excited. I was like, oh hell yeah, dude, look who we got. Like, it's awesome, man. And then what happens is then you cross that line, like that first initial, and then you become friends, and it's really cool because we all, I feel like, are so tight knit that it all, like I tune into what you do, whether you're doing stuff for your show, like your Sunday night show, or you're doing other stuff, like, and then the people that you're doing that with, I start getting involved with, and everybody kind of like mingles with each other, and it's super cool, man. Because now it's almost like I have this whole panel of friends that are just doing incredible work that all to me still feel like people that I'm aspiring to be, you know what I mean? To be like.
100%.
So,
And like,
which,
I feel like I learned from you. I learned from all these people in the community, especially like not just about horror movies, but about like being in the community and like how to do a show and this and that. Like, I like
yeah.
everyone's styles differently, and it's a really cool thing, man.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. And the thing that's really tough about it too is like I feel like, yeah, I'm not alone, but we all have a little bit of like an identity crisis where we're all still trying to figure out what we want to be. So everything that we do is kind of like taking pieces that we like from everybody and putting it
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
And it's so crazy when like when I talk to people and like people that I followed before I decided to really get involved with the community, or when I talk to Newt, it's like interesting because now I have people who contact me and ask me questions about things that I was asking people 3-4 years ago.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
it's really interesting, and it's humbling, man. It's really cool. But what's really neat is that I always try to tell people, like, take the chance and like just start. When people like contact me or Steve and they're like, hey, how do I start a podcast? I'm like, buy a shitty mic and just start, because that's where it is. So no matter how much things scale or things grow, I always want to be the type of person that's like, hey, let me help you. Let's put this together. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Be a part of that stuff, man, because the community is not, what we do solo is not as impactful as what we do as a community. And I feel like that's what's most important.
It's very well said, man. Very well said.
Mhm.
And I'll just drop a little plug right here. If you guys don't know, I'm a writer also. I write middle grade horror fiction.
Mhm.
And I haven't it hasn't been my niche for the past 2 or 3 years or whatever, but that was my thing for a long time. And I just did a workshop a couple days ago with Rachel Harrison, who is like a super famous New York Times bestselling author.
Mhm.
Um, she did like So Thirsty and Kiss Slay Replay is her book that's coming out shortly. But super super awesome person, great writer. And we're in this class, and everyone's asking questions and yada yada. And she goes, the first thing I want you guys to know is that none of you are aspiring writers. Okay, you are writers through and through. Because an
Mhm.
aspiring writer is not admitting to themselves that they're a writer, right? If you're writing, you are a writer. I thought that was such a cool little like caveat to start the night. And
Yeah.
so same thing, kind
Yeah.
of like we were saying, right? Like people ask you questions, this and that, but like just get a mic, just freaking do it, man.
Yeah, I read, dude, it's so funny. I read a book, or I didn't even read a book. A friend of mine, I don't know if you know Brian, Last Movie Standing is what he goes
Yeah,
by on
yes, yes,
Instagram
I
and
do.
stuff.
Yep.
I was talking to him one night, probably about 2 years ago, and he was like, "Dude, you need to read this book. I think it's by, I think it's, I'm probably gonna get the name wrong. I think it's Rick Rubin. I think is the name. He wrote a book called The Creative Way, or The Creative Act, which is kind of like a creator's guide to everything. It's like a Bible, right? And just happened to be that day I was leaving work, and I was like, let me put on the audiobook. And I put on the audiobook about halfway on my drive home. He says something that completely changed my outlook on everything that I did. He said, if you have an idea that you are fully capable of doing, you must do it, because if you don't, somebody else will, because the idea is meant to exist in a greater purpose. So it's either you're going to get the idea and you're going to act on it, or somebody else is going to get somebody else is going to get that same idea and they're going to act on it. And that changed everything, man. From that moment on, literally the last 2 years, every idea that I had, from the podcast to post to like anything minuscule, I just do it immediately, because I'm not afraid that somebody else is going to do it, but I know somebody else will.
Yeah, that is
So
profound. Profound
crazy.
knowledge coming from Chris Higgins right here. I gotta
Yeah.
drop you something here. Hold on. What can I give you? What can I give you?
Hail to the king, baby.
That's all I'm saying right now. Hail to the
Hell
king,
yeah.
man. I love it. Profound stuff, man. I appreciate that knowledge, that wisdom. I love that you're bringing that to the show today. So yeah, let's get into some things, man. You guys just like hit the learning tree with us just now, like super profound information. But anyway, I appreciate everyone being here. We just had like 7 people in the chat a minute ago. Though you guys that are here, be sure to hit that like button, please. And yeah, you guys join us in the comments. Like, feel free to interact, comment, all that good stuff. But let's get into some things because I do have a short list of things I want to talk about. And Chris, if you have anything you want to talk about, let's rock and roll. Sweet. But I want to talk about Stranger Things physical media real quick. Are you a Stranger Things fan?
Not of the last season, but for the most of it, yeah.
Yeah, last season kind of sucked. But I will say that what made the show good, they stuck the landing on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the final 15 minutes of that season was better than the whole rest of the season, and that was the perfect ending.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
I agree with you that the season overall was not good. And there's so many things that like didn't make sense in other seasons because of this season,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. And it feels like when you go from season 3 and 4, which to me were kind of like season 3, 4, how many? This was season 5, right? The final.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. 3 and 4 to me were pretty perfect. And even down to like visually, the season felt the most least Stranger Things-esque. You know what I mean? Even I've seen comparison of visuals of lighting from season 4 to season 5. It just seems like less effort was put in and it was a rush to the end. And even the rush to the end has been full of controversy from rumors to even the Duffer Brothers coming out and being like, hey, we did not have an ending at the time that we were shooting. Like, there's been so much, dude, that kind of like come together and then you understand kind of why it was all a bit of a mess,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you, we're not going to spoil the whole show, but if you are like a diehard truther, and you don't want to know anything, I guess like turn this off now. But I'm going to speak a little bit about it, and then we'll get into physical media stuff. But I thought Vecna was just a total bitch, and that I really hated that. Like you said, it's season 3 and 4 were so good. In season 4, part of what made the show that season so good is Vecna was an unbelievable villain. He really was. And like, you had this big buildup of this incredible villain. At the end of season 4, when all the portals opened and all the gates opened, and like you were ready, I was ready for like a war, like an absolute all-out battle, like Demogorgons coming up into Hawkins. And we got none of that. Like, none of that made any sense. They used the whole season. I don't really understand it. I don't understand what was holding them back from, an invasion, I guess.
What I don't get is like the last shot of season 4, you have like all of Hawkins being taken over, and they turn it into like a small block in the middle of the town that they're using. But the rest is like gone. There's nothing else.
Yep.
Which makes no sense. It's a total cop out, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. There was so much that I didn't love about the season. But physical media, Stranger Things physical media, it's been lacking, right? Netflix has not really done anything. We had those first 2 seasons there were Blu Ray sets. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, I had both of them at one point, and then I remember like for maybe a year and a half seeing them at Walmart or at Target for like $6.
Yeah, they're super cheap. I think you can still get it like super cheap on eBay, like $5, $10, whatever. And it's a great set. I like both sets. I really appreciate the packaging. It's like a VHS retro style packaging, which is super cool touch. But outside of that, it's really non-existent. However, I've got you guys covered. Okay, I don't know if Chris, you're familiar with Katie Video.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, she does incredible work.
Yeah, she's super cool. Does great work. So if you guys are unfamiliar, I'm gonna take you guys to the site real quick. But she does typically VHS tapes. So she does like retro style like VHS tapes and a lot of VHS tape that are really hard to find. So like something like a Frankenhooker, which is again in and of itself like Talking Box is like probably a $400 tape, like Killer Clowns, and this is all her own artwork, so they're kind of like replicas. The tape fully works, etc. Dolls and all these things again. Like I think these are like $20 a tape, something super cheap. She
Yeah.
also specializes in like modern horror, like something like a Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So she just made a big release, and I want to show you guys what it is because if you're a Stranger Things fan, I want you to know this. Like it's like a big kind of a big deal. So I'm gonna just share my screen real quick.
How much do you think that Frankenhooker VHS with the talking with the sound cover goes for?
Yeah, like I said, I think probably like 400, $500. I know.
Jesus, dude, that's incredible.
Yeah. I think that's like one of those like grail pieces, you know, like I think there's like a few tapes out there that are just like you just don't see it. And I think
Yeah.
that's one of them, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
But okay, so let me show you guys real quick because she did something super cool. So I want to show you guys what she did. Now, she did actually a full. So if you guys just Google Katie Video, go to katievideo.com. She did a couple releases. So the first thing that she did, which is like I wanted so badly, and I was so close to pulling the trigger on, and then it sold out, but was this. So she did a full-on all 5 seasons VHS release in a box set. So like this is the box set. Super, super, super cool stuff.
Damn.
It was I think it was like 350. So definitely pricey, but it's 10 tapes. So you get all 5 seasons across 10 tapes. Yeah, dude. So track days. Wait till you see what she just did because this sold out the VHS tapes. But look what she just did, which I am strongly considering getting because it's badass. But so this sold out. And so for the people that missed out on it, and again, this is a super cool edition. 10 tapes. And she uses like the best cardstock, imaginable. As far as like the replicas are concerned, she, in my opinion, does the best packaging. I think her the cardstock, whatever she uses, is like exactly what they used for VHS tapes. It's pretty perfect. But anyway, so she just dropped this a couple days ago. So it's the entire Stranger Things DVD set, and it's very affordable and very cheap. So if you guys are looking for, it's 130 for the Stranger Things on physical media. Check out Katie Video, man. She's doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, those covers are pretty sick.
Yeah, dude. So I wish I like knew if there was an actual box or not. I think
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
right. I think it's just like each DVD. I don't know, but it's super cool stuff, man. And she, again, this is all her own artwork. You got season 5, season 4 with that Max cover. Season 3, you got that summer shot right there, which is awesome. Season 2, and then season 1.
Waiting for all the why no 4K people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hope it comes eventually. I think it will.
I don't know. I feel like for this show, man, I'm perfectly good with a DVD, especially with those covers.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think we might get a 4K eventually, but like $130 is really not that bad for the amount of content you're getting. You know?
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. I thought it'd be cool if she threw in that that documentary in there on season 5, the one they came out with after came out. That'd be a cool addition.
Yeah. A confession, I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, neither have I. I just think it'd be cool to
Yeah.
have. I just think
It would be. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted you guys to know this because it's a super cool addition, and I was just browsing around and I saw this, and I thought people need to know about this because it's a super cool set, and it's a way to own the entire show on physical media. You know,
Is this her first DVD set?
it could be. Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Now
I've
that you
never
mention
seen
it.
a DVD before
Yep, I think
from
you're right.
her. Oh yeah, and you can buy the individual seasons.
Yep.
Oh wait, there's a Coraline DVD as well down to the left.
Oh yeah. Yep. You know what? Let's do this. Let's.
Oh, dude, that Evil Dead, man, her work is so sick, dude.
Dude, she, I love her stuff so much.
How much are
And,
her VHSs usually?
say it again.
How much are her VHSs usually? Like $30?
So that's the thing. Like they're super cheap, dude. Look at this. So 25, 25. My Bloody Valentine's 14.
Man.
She does like hold on. I'm gonna kind of go through this because yes, most of her stuff is like 20, 25, but not all of it. So 20, 20, 20. So Dolls is 20, 15. Hold on, because she does things like I got The Babysitter. You know the movie The Babysitter?
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
Netflix movie.
yeah. Great movie. A lot of fun. $5
Man.
on VHS. So I'm trying to find like what
Yeah.
she has right
Dude, her
now.
cover, like that monkey cover is so sick. The Substance cover, holy shit, dude.
Oh, let me go back to the monkey.
Look at
Yeah, dude.
that. And
And
they're fully
this.
functioning, right? Like they work.
Oh yeah, fully functioning. Also, let me just real quick. We got 7 people in the chat. If you guys could hit that like button, I would appreciate it. Let me give you guys something fun here. Let's do this.
Guaranteed to jack you up.
So appreciate you guys hanging out. But yeah, dude, this is all her own artwork.
Yeah, I've seen her breakdowns on Instagram where she does like the time lapse of her work is incredible, man. It inspires me. Like, obviously, I'm not doing any designing to the depth that she is, but it inspires me to put a little bit more time into mine.
Do you draw? Are you an artist?
No, man, like I just I feel like I have the ideas. It's the execution
Yeah.
where I lack. You know, it's something where like I'm slowly learning. But a lot of times, like it's just kind of frustrating having your vision. I feel like I can only dedicate so much time to so many creative places at one time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I wish I had an ounce of artistic talent, like just an ounce. Like I still draw stick figures, dude. It's bad.
Dude, wait, but you teach art. What do you mean, dude? I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, exactly right.
Art teacher.
Anyway, so we got Katie Video talking here. Just checking out her stuff. She did a Stranger Things physical media set DVDs. But so like I was saying, yeah, she got the Coraline special edition here. So like I was saying, most of her stuff is 20. You got the Substance big box here. But I'm trying to find like she does even cheaper, dude. Like even cheaper. Hold on.
Yeah.
Long Legs is 15. I'm gonna find it. Again, like all these replicas, 20. Spookies is 15.
You ever watch yours from her? Do you keep them sealed?
I watch them, yeah.
Oh, do you? Okay. So
Yeah, for sure. So Neon Demon 10, Immaculate 10. And this is kind of like where I'm at, dude. I want to know your thoughts on this. Like this is really big for me right now. And we've talked about this before because when I hopped on your show, we deep dived into the commentaries from Killer Clowns, and we really talked about some of the extras and some of the special features that have been on these editions over the years. Especially those commentaries that they have done legacy features for forever. Like that was an old commentary that they just re-released on the Scream Factory, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So, and we had spoken about, the extras and how important they are for physical media. But to be honest with you, in so many ways right now, I'm just trying to like watch more movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. I think that's the important thing is people just need to take a chance and watch more movies, first of all. That's always number one. Just watch more movies, take more chances, watch things that you're maybe not comfortable watching, meaning they're out of your typical genre. Just learn to click play on things. And then from there, we try to encourage, then learn about the movies that you love.
That's
like
so interesting.
The thing is, like, over the past 10 years, I owned movies that I never would have thought I would ever own in my life. Like, I've always collected to some capacity. Now my wife and I really collect, and there's stuff in my collection that I love that 10 years ago I looked at and I was like, I'm never going to watch that. Now they're favorites of mine. And then from there, you take it to the next level, and then you watch the interviews, listen to the commentary, dive into the extras, and now you're spoiled with endless releases that are new to you because so much is happening and so much is coming out. Like past 2 years alone, Shaw Brothers, I got into really heavy the last 2 years. Now I'm getting into more of the Pink films. We've talked about that.
Yep.
And getting into really, really interesting stuff.
So I made my first Melusine order.
Nice.
Have you dipped it all into that stuff?
I have a couple. Yeah, I raved on the last After Hours episode I did. I raved about Behind the Green Door, which was the first of their Mitchell Brothers release.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. They did a huge Valentine's Day sale and things were crazy cheap. So I picked up a few things, but we can get that another time. But I have to grab the Pink set. I have to grab the Sato stuff. And yeah, I mean, I just really part of what I love being about physical media right now and movies in general. I've been just loving. I've been picking up a lot of like DVD lots and
Mhm.
even like these VHS tapes. Like again, let me just go back here for a quick second. Like these movies again, $15. The Babysitter now is 15. Saltburn $10. Good Time $10. A lot of these places, even Amazon for DVDs are like all the $10. They
Mhm.
sell movies for cheap. Like I just watched for the first time. It was a Katie video. I watched In a Violent Nature. Have you seen that?
Yeah, dude, I love In a Violent Nature.
Dude, it was great. I really enjoyed it. And but I watched it for the first time on that $10 Katie video tape.
Yeah. How so a movie like Into Violent Nature, I'm curious to know, like, one day if you ever watch a more, like, high def version of it, what you would feel different. Because Into Violent Nature, to me, as somebody who had never seen it on a VHS, that is perfect.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was great. It was a great environment to watch it. Had the lights off, had my CRT going. And again, I'm
Mhm.
not saying that that's the end all be all and that's the way it should have been watched, but it was fine. It was good for me. Like it was such an experience to watch that movie. And in an age of physical media where like, there's things are being put out. And I did a video on this on The Ugly Stepsister. Have you seen that one?
Not yet.
So I haven't seen that one either, but like I want to.
Mhm.
And they Second Sight just put out that awesome, they do what they do best, that
Mhm.
gorgeous box set edition, extras, all that stuff. And I was thinking about getting it, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need to spend $65 on this.
I didn't get it, but let me get your thoughts on something because I was just
Yeah.
telling my wife maybe a couple weeks ago that man, I was like, I kind of want to get a CRT TV and do like a CRT corner. And she's like, oh, great. Now you want to start collecting VHS tapes? And, not really. I don't really want to, but I can see myself like getting some of these titles from KD Video. And like, that's kind of the vibe to watching some of these movies. Like, if I can have a nice CRT and lounge out and throw It Follows on, that's great, and that really changes your experience. Like, as much as nice it is to watch Cannibal Holocaust on 4K, I feel like people watching it to that definition are getting a different experience than you or I, who watched that on the worst VHS cut I've ever seen in my life. It just added a charm to it that I can never replicate upping when you up the definition of it. So I think
It,
it changes. Like, I'm looking at It Follows right now on the screen, and I'm like, man, how dope would that be to throw on a VHS? And what, like, it's a perfect movie for that.
100%. And I think now more than ever, we need to start remembering that there are other formats. Like it doesn't have to be a 4K, it doesn't have to be even a 4K, scan. Like these DVDs don't even look bad, dude. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, like I know, I feel like, and I have been praised. I don't know if you're watching any of my shorts lately, but I've been doing a
Mhm.
lot of shorts where I've just been watching these DVDs that I get in these lots and trades and yada yada. And
Mhm.
I get them for practically nothing. And
Yeah.
I just watched for the first time a movie called Suitable Flesh. Have you seen this?
I did. Yeah, I did. Was not a
That
fan,
I
but
was gonna say that's the sound of you did not like it.
yeah, I did not.
Interesting. Well, I
But
love it.
I've been buying more DVDs, and sometimes out of necessity, like I just bought The Hitcher on DVD, the remake,
Yep, yep, yep.
because it's only available on DVD. And I just thought it's so funny, dude, because before we talked on Instagram, I was like, damn, I really want to watch Death Sentence, and it's still only available on DVD. I was like, I should go on eBay and try to find that. I have zero issue picking something up on DVD. I'll do it in a heartbeat, dude. I have a couple. I have probably, like, I'm getting all the Masters of Horror series,
Hell
like
yeah.
what was it called? 8 Films to Die For series. Some of those are still unavailable in further formats. And when I throw them in my PlayStation 5, there is some upscaling happening. And the other night I watched Dark Ride. I don't know if you remember that movie from
I don't.
I forget which series it was part of, but it's a great slasher. It takes place in a haunted house, and it looked great on the DVD. I was like, I see no reason to ever upgrade this.
That's what I mean. And so I feel like there needs to be a conversation around all formats, right? Like why
Mhm.
are we limiting ourselves to just 4K UHDs. You know, I'm not saying that's what everyone does, but I feel like a lot of new movies are getting put out on 4K UHD in these gorgeous editions. And I don't think that I don't think people really understand that there are other editions out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of times people are just buying stuff because it's on 4K. They have no attachment to it. They're just like, oh, it's on 4K. Like, okay, I'll buy it. And like,
Right.
it's great that that's how you're discovering it. But also, that's not my move. I'd rather kind of go back and watch something else before I decide. Like Mac and Me on 4K was an obvious upgrade. I had that VHS as a kid. Like,
yeah.
But when Vinegar Syndrome, which I know you're a big collector of, when Vinegar Syndrome drops an unknown, 70s obscure slasher on 4K, I'm not chopping it to bits. I'm going to check it out. There might even be a DVD that I'm more into getting,
Yeah, and that's what's like so like perplexing about it is like, it's so cool when you get these movies that you have nothing about. Like they just dropped Contagion, which is also called Panic, which is a movie I've looked at the DVD probably countless times on MVD. They have a cheap DVD. It's always on sale. And I'm always like, oh, should I get this? Should I get this? And I always have it in my cart and I never get it. And all of a sudden we have this 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. I believe it's a 4K. And I'm super excited for it, but like I don't really need it. I definitely don't need it in 4K. But then there's the whole conversation around like, Troll 2, right? Like they just put out a 4K on Troll 2 and it looks spectacular. And Troll 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it brought me so much joy watching that thing on 4K. And it is one of my absolute favorite releases they've ever done. The extras were fantastic. But, okay, now here's where it's really things get dicey, is that I still prefer to watch it on VHS, and like,
yeah, that's how I feel. I just picked up, man. I've been getting into Full Moon more and more.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, dude, hell yeah.
And I picked up the 2 Legacy box sets with the first 20 Full Moon titles. And
nice. Yeah.
The other night I watched Metal Storm for the first time.
What is it? Metal Storm?
It was called Metal Storm.
I think
it was like number maybe 13 or 14 in one of the box sets. And it's this little cheap Mad Max ripoff, and the DVD was an old Shout Factory DVD or Blu Ray, and I'm watching it and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is so much fun. Like this is incredible that I've never, I would never upgrade to 4K if they put one out.
Yeah,
but just discovering it again and taking a chance on it, I loved it, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm a big Full Moon guy too. And one of my like I feel like all over my collections, like there's like niche piles and niches and companies all over the place that I like align in certain ways. And like my Full Moon section is like my everything. Really? I have a huge Full Moon tape collection, huge Full Moon Blu Ray collection. Like I'm a big Full Moon guy too. I definitely I might have some doubles too. I can let you know. I can definitely be glad to help you out.
Damn, yeah, I appreciate that, dude. I just heard I got both of those Legacy box sets for like $120, so that was a hell of a steal, and they're both signed by Charles Band, so that's really cool.
It's killer, dude.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, right? Like Full Moon and their Valentine's Day sale just dropped. They had like $3 DVDs. I don't know if you saw that.
Yo, their Blu-rays were like $6.
Yeah. So again, like, I'm really kind of about the discovery these days, and I'm trying to watch as much. And I know you didn't like Suitable Flesh. I feel badly that I brought that one up.
But, no. It's Joe Begos, right? Directed that.
Could be, yeah, could be.
I think it was. Yeah, he was on. Was it Joe Begos or
Joe Lynch?
It was Joe. Oh, that's what it
Joe
was.
Lynch. Joe Lynch.
We had Joe Lynch on, and he premiered a category in the Shelf Shock Rewind Awards, and the whole time I was like, I felt like some sort of way because I'm like, I didn't like your last movie. I'm sorry.
well, that's the same thing happened with that dude Chad Farron. He directed the old ones, which is maybe Agfa, not Agfa. One of the partner labels did it, and it's like a Edgar Allan Poe like retelling, I think. I'm sorry, H.P. Lovecraft retelling, and I was super jazzed about it. Me and Jordan both I bought it and then I didn't like it, so I sent it to Jordan, and I'm on this podcast with dude, and he was such a nice guy, and he's such a smart writer. Like he took us through like his whole psyche, but I felt terrible because I didn't like the last movie that I watched of his. But
Yeah, I was like, whatever. When it came to Joe Lynch, I was like, you don't give a shit about my opinion anyway. So,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's super cool you made a movie, so I'm in no place to,
All
to
right, that makes me
critique
feel
you.
better about Suitable Flesh. But I dug it, man. I don't know what it was. Like it gave me like a Substance vibe. It gave me like Reanimator vibes, and you got Barbara Crampton in there. Even like they like pay homage to it in some ways. I dug it, man. It was cool.
Yeah. Well, I like to just go back to Reanimator 5 times a week. You know what I mean? Watch that over and over and over again.
Oh yeah. Did you get the Bride of set yet?
Yeah, I ordered a day of.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes after it was announced, and then I bought it, and then I was like, oh shit, that thing's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it is. But like that, so I mean, I have the first one. I haven't opened it yet, but I everyone talks about how killer that transfer is.
Yeah, it's great, and a lot of people were saying they're going to hold off for the Second Sight version, but Second Sight has multiple times on my podcast and with friends have said they're not doing Bride of Reanimator, so they're going to be holding off for nothing.
Interesting. All right. Well, hot. You got some insider info right here. Chris Higgins dropping some knowledge on y'all. So, yeah, if those of you that are on the fence about that Ignite set, definitely get it. But anyway, let's get back to Katie Video here. Let me just kind of just wrap up here with Katie Video. Like I know she's got some even cheaper stuff, man. Like Satanic Panic. This is one I just bought, and We Summon the Darkness. They're both $10.
Johnny Knoxville and We Summon the Darkness, man.
Dude, have you seen? I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's a lot of fun. Daddario's great in it. Really fun movie. And again, Satanic Panic, Rebecca Romaine, really fun movie. $10, dude.
Yeah.
Like you spend double that to go see a movie in the theater.
Oh, dude, I can't tell enough people to watch Fear Street. I love those movies, man.
So that's another thing she did. She did it's all three. It's the trilogy on VHS. Little pricey, but how cool is that?
Yeah, that art is awesome, dude. Those movies are incredible. Those original 3 Fear Street movies are fantastic.
Yep. Anyway, so she does cool stuff, man. Definitely, if you guys are new to her stuff, definitely go check her out.
John Wick, damn.
Yeah, dude, check her out. I would like just like deep dive.
Holy shit, dude! I need to do this. This is so cool.
Yeah, so
I've never taken the time to look at it like this.
Back to the CRT. Look, 5 Wrong Turn sold out $5. Super Bowl's $5. $5. Like these are great additions, dude.
Yeah, Final Destination 5.
So wait, so back to the CRT. So you're saying you want to get one? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if I have the space. I thought about doing a CRT corner, getting like a corner shelf and just putting it on and kind of, having a very small space dedicated to it. I'm not going to get into buying like original VHSs and things like that. But, if I can get a couple, then, I thought it'd be a cool little retro thing to just kind of have and enjoy.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
But they're all over the place. Like if I go on Marketplace right now, I can find 40, 50 different CRTs for various prices, depending on if they know what they have,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So
my unit is like sick. It's a 20-inch Panasonic, and it's got a built-in VCR and a built-in DVD player.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So like I watch my DVDs typically on my CRT.
Yeah. I haven't watched a DVD on my OLED yet. I just picked up an OLED.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't thrown a DVD on that yet. I'm curious on how that looks. But my wife and I have been watching Survivor in standard definition on a streaming service, and that looks pretty good.
Nice. Like Survivor, the reality show?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what we were watching right before I jumped on. I was waiting to see who got eliminated, and then I ran in and hopped on.
Nice. It's so funny. That was like a cultural phenomenon when that show
I never watched it, dude.
Dude, shit was crazy.
I never did, man.
I didn't either.
I'm so happy to see that behind over your right shoulder in your Vinegar Syndrome box set, you have the Shaw collection.
Oh yeah. So
Volume
those are the first Shaw movies that I watched.
Yeah, dude, that Vinegar Syndrome collection is awesome, man. The Sex Beyond the Grave,
which is actually on the set you sent me.
Yeah. So you're gonna have 2, but that's probably my favorite movie in that set. Anyway, dude, we talk about a black magic wild trip of a movie, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome. I The honest truth is that with the Shaw set you sent me, I was really interested in Oily Maniac because I heard that was awesome.
Dude, it's so good, man. So good.
So I'm excited for that, but I knew that was gonna be a double for me, but
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, listen, guys, we got 7 people in the chat. Appreciate y'all hanging out. We're gonna take a quick 30-second break. Chris, if that's cool with you, I gotta pee real quick.
Yeah, all good, man.
We'll take 30 seconds. I'm gonna pop the loop on. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, guys. Be right back. What up, everyone? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can get you.
All right. So we're back. All right. So good stuff. If you guys just popping in, we got Chris Higgins over. That bearded film guy. What up?
What up?
Can you pull out a Katie video VHS? Yes, I definitely can. So I'll say this about the Katie video stuff. So let me show you. First of all, I have a couple here. So she does like old school tapes, also like some of the tapes that are pricier. She gives you an affordable way to own them, like dolls. And this is all her own artwork. Or like a Killer Clowns. Again, this tape goes for like $300. So like Killer Clowns or like Frankenhooker. So just you can see that. But what I'll say is this. So I believe it's like a 4:3 aspect ratio, I think. And I don't like, as far as the quality of the VHS tapes themselves, I think you could find better. You know, these aren't like licensed VHS tapes where they're like getting these official releases. So just keep that in mind. They're VHS tapes, so like they'll look badass, but just kind of temper your expectations with the quality of the actual tape reel.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as it looks like a VHS, I think that's what matters, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going great. It's not going great.
I don't think I own any. I think we have like just original like Jurassic Park on VHS or Saving Private Ryan. We have my wife has an original hardbox Legend of Billie Jean VHS that I have
nice
there. But,
so is she into horror as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Big into horror. Yeah. We're kind of like I get into much deeper stuff. You know what I mean? Much more obscure, much deeper stuff. But we definitely share the same love and passion for it, you know, and this collection, the one that you see behind me is, but actually my old TV is sitting here, so it's blocking some of it. But you know, this was built by both of us. She's the one who really pushed me and, you know, gave me the support to continue kind of chasing this thing and talking about movies. And, you know, awesome. I don't think I'd be here talking to you without her. Actually, I doubt I would be, you know what I mean? So
dude, that's awesome.
Kudos to her, you know.
That makes me feel good. That's such a good feel good story.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Really, really cool. Thanks for sharing that, man. That's a nice touching story.
It's not as cool as the background of the day you got there, but you know.
Say it again.
I said my background's not as cool as yours, but
No, man, no. Yeah, again, we're talking about like the community thing. Like, I love your collection, dude. Like, anytime you post, and I get so envious. Like, when I love that you put your heart into everything. Like, when you post something on Instagram and like you talk about the behind the scenes, and you definitely have a way with your words. But I feel like, oh shit, now I want that because like I'm hearing you talk about it, and so, dude, I love your collection, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks,
Like,
dude.
the same way you feel about mine, I feel about yours.
Yeah, I always get people to hit me up thinking that like people are always like, oh, you trying to sell stuff for the late. I'm like, dude, I don't get anything from nobody. Like, I don't work with any, I work with the movie room, and I get review copies from them, but it's very few, and I don't work with labels or nothing like that. I just hope that people take the time to read. I understand that when I write a 3-paragraph Instagram caption, the odds of everybody reading it is very, very low, but somebody's going to read it and somebody's going to learn something from it. So that's what matters. You're reading it. I know that.
That's somebody.
Yeah, that's you. Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, we had like 10 people in the chat a minute ago. Appreciate y'all hanging out. We got the Hungry Doodler in the house. What up, Hungry Dudes? All right, let me get something fun here. Let's take it back. Some Are You Afraid of the Dark days?
So intense, man.
It was looped. Yeah, Ghastly Grinner, bro. All time good. Actually, I have my I have this right here, so I can grab it. Like a Ghastly Grinner like comic print.
Oh hell yeah!
I got this like years and years and years ago. But are you like a big Are You Afraid of the Dark fan?
I mean, when I was young, I don't really remember a lot of it, but
so in the show, it was like this was like one of one in the show, the comic, and that's like the only like issue they ever did. So I was like, someone did it on Etsy. I was like, I gotta get that shit.
Dude, Etsy's underrated for that stuff, man. I think my wife's birthday, I got her a replica of the mask, that we have displayed, and it's
so sweet. Did I see that on your page? You have that, right?
Yeah.
The Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I posted it with the mask Arrow 4K.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So cool, dude. What you can find on Etsy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so let's keep cruising here. We talked Katie video. I want to just touch because you brought this up before. And I feel like it's a just kind of go on the fly here. It's a great topic of conversation, but you brought up Reanimator and you were like, I watch it 5 times a week or whatever, this and that. So I brought this up on a video the other day. To me, Reanimator is like the gateway of all gateway horror movies. Do you agree with that? Like, or what, or like, give me your thoughts.
I mean, I love Reanimator. I feel like, how do I put this? Yeah, I think it's a great gateway. Like, I think you can show it to I think it might be a little extreme for some people. You know what I mean? There's some pretty harsh stuff in it, but it does feel very accessible. But I think it's one of those movies that gets better the more ingrained into horror that you become, because it's so important to what came kind of after it, and it's so like it's just got this weird timeless quality to it that I love. And I mean, I think I used to think it was my favorite Jeffrey Combs performance until my wife showed me The Frighteners, and then that became my new favorite Jeffrey Combs performance.
Great movie, yeah.
But dude, like Stuart Gordon, I read Stuart Gordon's autobiography, and that completely changed my view on Reanimator. And hearing about his time in the organic theater and kind of the stuff that he was doing back then, and it's pretty incredible, man. It's a movie that to me is just why I love horror. It's incredibly fun. It's scary. It's gory. It's a little bit sleazy.
I think
it's everything.
Like, the point I'm trying to make as far as gateway is like, if someone came up to me and they were like, I want a deep cut, right? Like, I'm an average horror fan. Like, I love the theatrical stuff. Like, I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff. What's something like I want to go further, right? Like, what's something that you would recommend to me that's like, it's not one of the it's not a Child's Play, it's not a Nightmare on Elm Street, it's not a Friday 13th, it's not a Halloween. What would you recommend? And to me, the first movie I always think of is Reanimator. because that is like such a bridge to like this other dimension of horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like in a way I would also try to encourage someone to watch something like Pieces.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like something that's just so bananas and so weird. But I do think Reanimator is kind of the perfect middle point for that. Plus, you're blessing everybody with Barbara Crampton. You know what I
Oh
mean? Like
yeah,
definitely the best thing
exactly.
to do to people. That 4K is incredible, man. Like what
I gotta
Ignite did
watch
with
it.
that. And I read the novelization for Reanimator. We're prepping to cover Reanimator on the podcast, so we've been doing a lot of research on it. And it's such an interesting movie, and the drop in quality from Reanimator to Bride of Reanimator, I think, is going to be a huge conversation piece because so many people picked up Reanimator on 4K from
Mhm.
Ignite. Maybe they've never seen it, and then they're going to do the same to Bride, and they have to understand that Brian Usna is not quite Stuart Gordon, and there is a pretty severe drop off.
Interesting.
But it's still good, because then you have Beyond Reanimator, which is like forget it. I'm not upgrading
Yeah.
that to
Yeah,
anything.
it's so
So
bad. I have the Arrow release that they did.
oh
And,
yeah, yeah.
I got it just to own it because I didn't own it. And it's so bad.
Yeah. What about you outside of Reanimator? What's another you think like deep cut gateway you would give to someone?
It's a great question. Again, like Reanimator is always the first for me. I don't know. I put you
How
on
about
the
something like
spot and now you're
Sleepaway? What do you think about like
what
Sleepaway Camp?
yeah, Sleeper Camp's a good one. What's cool about Sleeper Camp is like it's bizarre and it's out there. Even the like the scenes with like Aunt Judy, like
Oh
you're
yeah,
gonna watch and be like, what the fuck am I watching?
man, that's such a
But
good like.
but then
Now I'm looking back,
you get to the end and it's like, well shit, that was fucking wild. Yeah, it's a great question. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts.
yeah, that's I don't know, man, because I'm trying to think of it from the perspective of like when I talk to people, kind of what do I?
Oop,
Uh
we're getting emergency. Oop.
New
Do you
York,
get
man.
that too?
I have it turned off.
Oh.
Well, what if someone was like, I want to take a deep cut, and I was like, yeah, watch Necromantic.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. It's a fun one. Just check it out.
I'm gonna
Just
think
don't
about
ask
it, man.
questions. Just put it
Don't ask me to plot. Just put it on.
in.
Wow, never heard of Reanimator. Wow.
Yeah, dude. So track days. Yeah, man. Check it out. Like it's you'll like it. That's all I'll say.
It's so much fun, man. I mean, I think Stuart Gordon's run is pretty incredible, man, for the most part. Even up to like his last movie, Stuck. I don't know if you ever seen that.
I
That was
haven't.
incredible.
No.
Yes, Stuck
This
is
is interesting to me. So track days, he never heard of Reanimator or she. I'm not sure. Track days who you are, but appreciate the comments. But then track days mentioned the acting Sleeper Camp is something else. You definitely seen Sleeper Camp. You haven't seen Reanimator. So that is interesting to me.
yeah. Yeah, Sleepaway Camp's pretty incredible, man. I don't mean to keep plugging the podcast, but I fell in
No,
love with
dude,
it.
plug away.
I fell in love with it anymore when we had pretty much the entire cast on our show, and it was
Yeah, I saw that. I meant to tune in for that. So you had Judy or not Judy. You had
we had Karen Fields. We had oh my god, why am I blank? Hold on.
wait, what did I miss on my character names? What's she? Judy is the aunt? No, Martha's the aunt.
Martha's aunt.
Judy is the bitch, the mega bitch.
Yeah, that so Judy is played by Karen Fields. We had Karen Fields on. We had Catherine Kami, who plays Meg. She's the
Nice,
the counselor.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then we had Tom Vandell, who played Mike.
That is so cool. I gotta check that out. I gotta check out that episode.
It was so much fun, man, and it was very like it's very much like I think for the most part, I think there's a lot of gushing of us being like,
yeah,
thank you for coming and hanging out, you know what I mean, and doing this, and it was really cool to just kind of talk to them and kind of hear some of the insights, like kind of behind the scenes and kind of like what the legacy has been like, because I think that's the most interesting part is how these movies gain a second or a third life.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So much long after. And I'm actually like I'm a bigger fan of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 than the original.
Really?
I think they really lean into it. But that final shot of Sleepaway Camp is top tier, man. You know?
Yeah, I have to disagree. The original Super Camps is one of my
Yeah,
favorite movies ever.
I understand.
And 2 and 3 are awesome, so much fun. But I just feel like the original one is just so unique,
Mhm.
whereas 2 and 3 are kind of more of the same of each other,
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
slasher, a lot of fun. But like tape store like staples, like absolute
Mhm.
staples because you're looking for a Friday night slasher, like, you can't go wrong with either of those. The date night, Friday night, you're getting some popcorn, they're just staples.
Yeah, they were so believe it or not, you're gonna be like, "Dude, what the hell?" One of my video store staples when I was young was tell me if you remember the movie Bloody Murder?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bloody Murder, Killjoy, like, those were kinda like my peak video store days, man, and it's so funny going back and watching them now because we had just picked up, we went to a used media store, my wife and I picked up the like, a trilogy DVD of Killjoy,
Uh-huh.
and I throw on the first one, I'm like, "Oh, this is"
A little rough around the edges.
little rough, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you get into it. It's always the first 15 minutes you got to get by. But it's funny how like those movies, I'll never forget them. I don't remember watching them, but I remember bringing home the tape, and I just remember the experience of like, all right, this is going to be the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. And they're really
Yeah.
not. They're pretty tame, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually just rewatched the first one recently. They're fun, man. They're fun movies.
Yeah, they're
Um,
cool, and it's just cool to find those DVDs out for $4 or
oh yeah,
$5.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, you
They
got to
just
buy them.
so I had the first two on VHS. I've actually only seen the first two. And
Okay.
Full Moon just had the entire all five of them for like $4 a pop during their sale. And I had a
Oh,
cart with all five of them. I was like, I'll check out the Killjoys for I don't know, $20 like
yeah.
total. And I didn't end up pulling the trigger, but I should have. Like there's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so many of those movies, man. I grew up watching a ton of Stephen King stuff. Like I was a big reader, so watched a ton of Stephen King. Speaking of DVD, a part of that haul, I picked up Storm of the Century,
Okay. Yep.
which was an incredible one. Just so much out there on DVD, man. And like no matter where you go, if you go to any used media store, you're gonna find some really obscure shit on DVD that you've never heard of that looks terrible. And I guarantee you're gonna have a blast watching them, and for the $2 you're gonna pay, who cares?
Dude, I just hit up the archive last week.
Oh, nice.
I had a tattoo appointment up in Massachusetts, and
Okay.
that's where my guy is. I always drive up there. It's like 3 hours or whatever,
Mhm.
and the archive is on the way. And so when I go up there, I always hit up the archive on my way back.
Mhm.
And I picked up just a bunch of DVDs, and because they have buy two get one free on the DVDs, so I
Yeah.
spent probably like $100, and I think I walked away with like 15 movies, and like I got some goodies, dude, like straight up goodies. I don't have my stack with me, but I did a video on it,
Yeah,
and
I have to make my yearly trip up there, man. We go up at least once a year. It's like
yeah,
3 hours for me.
yeah.
A little about to get there, but
But anyway, so yeah, just we'll go for a little while long. Chris, do you have anywhere you need to be? You gotta head out.
no, I'm good.
Um, Back to the tape store stuff, right? So you said you rented Killjoy when you were a kid, like that was like a big tape for you, and you said Bloody Murder.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like how we have these memories of like the tape store and like what tape stood out to you. I remember, so I rented a few tapes growing up for sure. One was Halloween. I mean, a million tapes, but like things that really stand out to me horror wise.
Mhm.
Um, Halloween 4, me
Oh,
and a
okay.
buddy rented, and I'll never forget what the ambulance scene right in the beginning when he puts his thumb in the guy's head. We
Yep.
freaked the fuck out. Like
Yeah.
we freaked, and I have such a vivid memory of that. We're like, holy shit. It was that. It was the Creeps, also Full Moon.
Nice.
Lord of Illusions,
Yeah. Clive Barker.
and just like a few others for sure. But
It's so
those
funny how
are
now I watch Halloween 4 and my favorite part of the beginning is just when he says God has nothing to do with this place.
yeah, yeah,
Instead of the thumb in the head, I've changed. I went from the thumb in the head to that
yeah.
one line
Nice.
of dialogue being my
Yeah.
favorite.
See, we changed. We developed new tastes, new
Dude,
interests.
when I was a kid, we had so my wife used to go to like a small town like video store. I had Hollywood Video across the street,
I had Hollywood Video. Yeah.
and they knew us. So I would go over and lie and say that, oh, my dad's sick. He gave us permission to rent R-rated movies, and they would let us. And we got away with that a
Sick.
few times, man.
Sick.
And I remember A couple big ones for me, man, were like Ghost Ship.
Oh yeah.
And
Greatest horror movie opening in history.
yep.
So killer.
Fear.com was
What was
another
it?
one I always Fear.com.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait, Fear.com. Yeah.
Vinegar
I just
Syndrome put
got the
that out.
Blu-ray of that recently, last
Yeah, I
year.
think Dark Star put that out. Yeah.
Dark Star. Yeah, great movie. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Rented that a whole lot, man. Yeah, Killjoy. There's a few that I don't. It's almost like as I go, memories get unlocked. Oh, one of them is Vinegar Syndrome put it out through the Umbrella line, Undead from 2003.
Yep.
The
I think I
Australian
have it.
zombie
I just haven't
movie.
watched it yet.
Yeah, super sick movie. That was one we rented a whole lot. So it's funny, man. Just sometimes these titles come back, and every now and then I'll watch something that's from that era, and I'm like, wait, I feel like I've seen this, and maybe at just some point I rented it. But a lot of stuff too I saw just based on like what was on TNT or TBS or whatever at that time, that would just be playing in its uncut or that in its cut form on TV.
Yeah.
So it's funny how that happens.
Those cable days are like were such a gem of a time period. Like late night TV, just like scrolling through and like I'd be in my room at night and I would just be like scrolling through and there'd be like a horror movie on and I'd be like, I know I shouldn't be watching this, but like I kind of have to.
We were at my wife and I went to dinner the other night and we were at a sports bar and they were changing the channel and they had, like they were on the guide and it was like,
like we had channel 3, like as you scroll through.
Yeah. So they had and they were scrolling down and I was hoping because it came up that it was in the last half of Point Break and then Speed was going to come on and I was hoping they were going to click on TNT so I could watch those while eating dinner. And they didn't, but I got a flashback to the guide days.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you were just so bored you just watch the guide. You just like literally let it scroll and go through.
I remember like scrolling through and hitting locked because like your parents didn't have a subscription for that, and you're like, "Damn it, I can't watch that." If tell you like, "Oh, go subscribe," you're like, "Fuck, all right, back to TBS."
Anyway, so yeah, appreciate you guys bringing us back to the tape store, man. Chris, thank you on that. Is there anything else like any VHS covers that that really stand out to you from the tape store, like that are vivid in your mind? There's a couple that I have for sure, but I would love to hear what you have to say. Like, what are some of the tape store cover art that really like stick out to you from that era, like you remember seeing in the store?
Yeah, I always loved. So believe it or not, The Ring was one that really got me back in the day. The Gore Verbinski remake of The Ring. I remember trying to like. It's so funny, dude, because I can picture the horror section in that Hollywood video. And a lot of it was spines. I remember seeing more of, and it was typically it would be like the yellow spines with the, darker writing to contrast it that I remember more than a lot of the covers.
Interesting.
It was a big one, the miniseries.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Yep. That was a big one.
And that had that iconic white cover with Pennywise coming out of the front with the he's got like the claw.
Dude, it's so good. It's such a good cover. I'm trying to. There was another one miniseries that always stood out to me, and I can't remember if it was Salem's Lot. There was one. Oh, believe it or not, always stuck in my mind for some reason. Rose Red.
I don't know if I know that one.
Stephen King's Rose Red. It was like a 423-minute miniseries.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I know Rose Matter.
Not Rose Matter. No, it was called Rose Red.
Okay.
Yeah. Trying to think. Oh wait, I have it right here. Hold on.
Yeah. Let me see.
How long is this thing?
Rose
254 minutes long.
Damn.
Yeah, Rose Red.
Now that you say it, I've definitely seen that around, but I didn't even know that was Stephen King.
Yeah, this one's crazy, man. Let's see. And then there's a sequel to this as well, but it's not as good. Yeah, I think those are probably. I mean, I remember seeing like Day of the Dead. Return of the Living Dead was always one that stood out to me, but I don't remember renting it when I was young. So much, man. I can't even pick any out like that are specific. Oh, man, always terrified me. Always. The DVD cover for, and I can't remember what cover it was. I just remember it scaring the hell out of me for Carrie. The Brian De Palma film.
With like the fire around her.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
talking about. Yeah, great cover. For me, it
Yeah.
was always Hellraiser was like one of the biggest.
Oh,
Like the
really?
original
Okay.
Hellraiser with Pinhead right in the front. That
Yeah.
to me was like such a forbidden fruit kind of thing. Like I'd see that tape and I'd be like, I know I shouldn't be looking at this right now. Like that was a
Yeah.
big one for me. And then a lot of the full moon stuff, like again, like the Dolls was one for sure. I
No.
remember. But it's crazy how these things stick with us, like these memories.
It it's so funny you brought up Full Moon because I'm just thinking about how when I watched not too long ago, maybe 6 months ago or so, I watched Cellar Dweller
Oh, great movie.
and I fell in love with it out of the video store box. But I was
Yep,
like,
yep, yep.
when I flipped the art, that art stood out to me as something I remember seeing on the shelves, but I couldn't remember if I ever rented it or not.
Yeah, great movie. I actually have that VHS, which is a killer tape.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that movie's so good, man. Nobody ever talks about it. Everyone was so excited about Dolls. I'm like, Cellar Dweller is actually kind of the king here.
Yeah, you know what it is with Dolls? It's that it just hadn't had a release in so long that
Yeah.
like I had that Scream Blu-ray back, and I think it was like 2017,
Mhm.
and it was a long time ago. I think. Don't quote me on that year, but like to finally have that movie back in print was like a huge deal because Dolls is really like an excellent movie.
Yeah, Dolls is incredible, man. The giant teddy bear.
I was also really excited about Robot Jocks. Call me crazy, but like I watched Robot Jocks as a kid with my dad. Like I
Yeah.
fucking love Robot Jocks.
Yeah, a lot of the I mean, I wish it was still the same way, man. I get that excitement like when I go to the archive and I'm faced with that wall of DVDs. I get that excitement back, like that
Same, dude.
discovery. But I feel like now being as in tune with the genre as I am, it sort of kind of ruins it because it's rare you come across something you know absolutely nothing about. So like I always
Yeah,
try to take advantage of that when I do. Um, but like
I
when
think
you're
that's
going,
kind of like what happened with Suitable Flesh for me. Like I didn't,
yeah,
I did a trade with a dude on a bunch of DVDs. I've been doing that a lot lately. Just giving like some Blu-rays or some like limiteds, whatever, and getting like big lots of DVDs. And this
mhm,
came in the lot. It was like a bunch of Shutter stuff, and I'd never seen it and didn't know anything about it. 2020, it's a recent movie.
mhm,
And I know you didn't love it, but like I loved it. I absolutely loved
yeah.
it. And like to find a movie I'd never heard of, didn't know anything about, and pop it in, like be wowed like that. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, a lot of times now it's the older stuff that I get excited about. Like, I'm looking forward to getting the Severin Exorcismo box set,
Yep.
which is like all the post Franco ruling films. And like every time I get a set like that, I'm blown away by or like I kind of had the same experience when I dove into Coffin Joe when Arrow put out the Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe.
Yep.
It's like holy shit, dude! I'm like now I'm exposed to this whole new world that I never knew existed before. This guy's the Brazilian Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
Like,
that set was massive.
yeah,
To me,
incredible,
that
man.
was massive. We
Like,
had the old Synapse like trilogy DVD, and
yeah, yeah.
um and it was like that was the only real way to watch those movies for forever. And then Arrow dropped this massive landmark box set, and I was just like, "Oh, that set blew me away."
Yeah, was that the Coffin DVD you talk about? Was that Cinema? Because
Yes,
I know
yes,
there was a
yes.
okay, there
Yep,
was that
yep,
one.
yep.
Okay. It's so funny how that happens, man, because a very good friend of mine, my buddy Brandon, he was the one who introduced me to Coffin Joe. And at the time he introduced me, he's like, yo, you have no option. He's like, you can either buy the really out of print DVD.
Yeah.
He's like, or you can find like terrible rips on YouTube. And then 3 months later, Arrow announces Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe.
Yep.
So I plunged into that. And, a lot of times now it's foreign stuff. It's anything that's not American is the most interesting for me anymore. Because there's so much being discovered and so much finally getting pulled to light. And I think that's the most fun thing. And especially when you get box set, like, me, I'm a huge Severin collector.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that they get is so obscure and so weird. And I can understand why people don't talk about them because on the surface and at description, they're not, the most interesting. But when you watch the movie, you're like, holy fuck, dude, these movies are great. And now I see why Severin took the time to put this together.
Yeah, I feel the same way, dude. And I also like I've been doing a lot of DVDs and deep diving, like just as many movies I can get my hands on. But like we've talked about this, but like I've also been hard on the foreign stuff. I
Mhm.
just did the Die Gothic set, that you sent me, and mad love for you, bro, for helping me out with that one. But I just the reason why I wanted this set. And I didn't want to settle on the standard was because I wanted to learn about these films, right? And I wanted the
Mhm.
booklet, which I read, and like these films kick ass, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I had never heard of these before. I didn't know what they were, but I'd heard good reviews, and like these films were such a contrast to like a slasher, like something I'm so used to watching. And I love 90s slashers and early 2000s CGI, but like this was something so different. And I think with foreign films, you just get a different vibe, and like
Yeah.
this is awesome for me.
Well, hearing somebody like, I think it was Bong Joon-ho at the Oscars,
That's the
saying,
guy who did Parasite.
yeah, saying, if you can get beyond the words at the bottom of the screen, then you open up your world, you completely open up your world, and that's what it takes. And I get that for some people it's difficult to do, and at one point in my life it was more difficult than it is now. But you realize that there's beautiful work everywhere and to varying degrees, no matter how far you go back. I mean, I struggle sometimes with some earlier stuff, especially mostly because of pacing,
Yeah.
But I remember when we got the Universal Monster set, the one that has like
Yeah.
53 movies in it
I
or
gotta get
whatever.
that. I don't have it, but I know what you're talking about.
There's a couple of those that were really tough for me to get through at one point. And now, as I've learned more and I've become a little bit more analytical with my movie watching, now I can go back to those and watch them kind of under a different viewpoint. And
Interesting.
like, we just had on Dave Lee on the podcast and Jake Boston from Steelbook Obsessed to break down the Umbrellas Monsters and Curiosities box set.
Which is also like an absolute behemoth of a set.
Insane, dude. And they
Yeah.
got me so excited to dive into some of the titles. They're like, some of this stuff has never been available. And I'm like, well, great. Now I got to watch it now.
So you would recommend that set?
I mean, I don't have it yet. I will
Right, but I'm
have it.
saying it just from the titles alone, because I don't know anything about the Hammer stuff. A lot of the old like monster movies too. I'm like a virgin on all of that. I really don't know much about those
Yeah.
Universal stuff. My buddy Jordan is a big fan, but
Mhm.
I don't really know much. So I was looking at that set and I kind of dig it, but I don't really know. Would you recommend like if for
Yeah.
someone that doesn't really know?
It has some of the Universal like the key like Phantom of the Opera's in there, Hunchback is in there,
Yep.
Frankenstein is in there. But when you get past those, because the set is kind of hitting a couple of those, but it's mostly focusing on like some really, really, really obscure stuff, which I haven't seen yet, so I can't say it from that point of view. But just looking at the set, it's 100% worth a blind buy into. The reason we did that episode was because there was a lot of controversy around the set not having any bonus features.
Interesting.
And that's because they created like 5 hours of visual bonus features, and at the last minute, Universal told them they can't use any of them. So they had to convert all these bonus
Shit.
features into written material to put into the 100+ page book that's there. But I think people are still going to be very, very, very happy with just the movies in there.
Yeah.
There's some really rare silent films on there, and I think it's going to be kind of like a treasure chest you're opening up and getting into, if you're willing to put out the money for it.
Yeah, I gotta take a look at that set, man. I had definitely had it in my cart at one point, and I like didn't pull the trigger, but I'm
Mhm.
definitely interested for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy
Let me
good,
let
man.
me get to this question because I've had this up for like 10 minutes. Track days. Any other recommendation besides Katie Video for newer movies on VHS? Websites, sellers, etc. I found a few on eBay, but was curious if you liked anyone specific. I have a couple. Chris, do you have anyone you wanna plug?
I always forget his name. Death by VHS.
Yep.
He's kind of like it's him and Katie are the ones that I follow the most.
Yeah, so check out Death by VHS. His are a little pricier. His are about $30 to $35. But his tapes are awesome. Like it's same quality, slip covers and all that. Definitely check out Death by VHS. Another one I really like is Frightgasm. Frightgasm does awesome stuff.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
about him. Yeah.
yeah, Jeff over at Frightgasm. He does great stuff. There's also one that I just discovered. It's actually one of my topics for the night. So let's kind of do that. We'll hang out for a little bit longer and then we'll kind of call it a day. But there's another one that was part of my, and again, I didn't get to any of the topics I wanted to get to, so now I get to do it I got a show next week easy. But there's a site called Taperot. So let me take you guys there real quick because the reason why I was bringing it up is because they too did a Stranger Things physical media release. So let me just show that real quick. Let me get rid of this. Um, no, let me remove this. Let's get rid of that, and let me share here. So the website's called Tape Rot Home Video. And so they do similar kind of vibe. They do like, VHS reissue boots, DVDs, all that stuff. But they did a season 1 Stranger Things, which I thought was super badass. And it's a black clamshell, which I kind of prefer. I like the aesthetic of a clamshell. So I just thought this was a pretty badass release.
Is that all? Oh wait, season 1. Oh, there's 4 tapes for season 1. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So if they had all 5 seasons like this, I would get it.
Dude,
I think this aesthetic is super badass.
And he does Blu-ray ones as well.
I don't know. Blu-ray artifacts. Let's see.
Oh, he does a couple. Okay. I buy from he's got the Devils. I buy from Sloppy Second Sales a lot.
I'm not familiar with that. Sloppy Second Sales.
Yeah, he does like Blu-ray mods and stuff. I have like the Fear Street trilogy. They're a little rough as far as like it's just sort of like printed, Blu-ray art.
Yeah.
But the actual disc is incredible, pretty perfect. That's another really good one.
Damn, I just Googled this. I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah, they're like $12 for.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Word. Yeah, thanks for that rec. I'll go check him out. And I'm assuming he has social media and everything.
Yeah, sloppy. Yeah, his Instagram is just Sloppy Second Sales. Yep.
Word. So this dude Tape Rot, he does the Stranger Things stuff, but he also does like all these other tapes, and I like had a cart in my other browser, but this is, you're gonna like laugh at me, but like Edward Penis Hands.
Edward, I remember that. That's so weird.
So me and my buddy Keith were talking about it, and we were just laughing about it. We're like, "Have you ever heard of the movie Edward Penis Hand?" And I found it on this guy's website. I was like, I think I gotta get this.
It's a triple feature, dude.
What?
It's a triple feature. It says
triple feature. Let's see.
What else is on there?
Triple feature. Let's see what else on here. Oh, you getting some? You heard it here first, folks. Triple feature. Edward Penis Hands. What else is here?
Yeah, what else is here?
I don't know. Let's see.
Just Home Improvement.
Triple feature. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Do you see it anywhere?
No, I don't. This is crazy though.
See, this is what we talk about on Miles of Horror. This is the fun stuff.
Hell,
not your average fairy tale, but one you'll remember forever. Yeah, I don't know what the look
Let me go buy that right now.
Do you see this still right here? That is absurd. So I had this in my cart. I was like, I gotta get this. I haven't bought it yet, but
it's gonna go perfect with your Melusine.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna do a whole erotica section. All right. So the other things that I was looking at that are super cool from him are Haunt. He's got a Haunt tape, which is super cool movie.
Love that movie.
Yeah. He's got what else? He's got a Halloween Town, which is like one of the most expensive tapes in history.
Dude, that Demons one all the way at the end is so sick. Yeah.
Yep. So this guy does some cool stuff. I've never gotten anything from him, but he has some cool stuff, man.
Damn, dude. Home Improvement Halloween VHS tape.
Say it again.
Home Improvement Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Damn, that's so sick. And $20.
So let's get rid of this. So that's another one. Track days, definitely check out if you want to do some boots. And yeah, so anyway, one thing I like to do on the show, we're like almost at the hour and a half mark, and I know we're off tomorrow, but I'm gonna call it soon.
Yeah.
But one of the things I like to do on Sunday Spookies is talk about like recent watches, recent pickups. So plug something, man. Chris, what's something you've watched recently that you really liked?
I haven't been
or if you like picked up anything recently that you were like, or it's just badass.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really been watching too much recently. I think a big standout for me was I watched for the first time, I watched Dead and Buried from 1981.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Awesome movie.
That was super cool, man. I never seen that before. I finally pulled out the Blue Underground 4K of it and loved it. I thought it
Dude,
was so good.
I just picked that up too, that 4K. I have the VHS tape, but
Mhm.
I just picked up that 4K. It was like $17.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. And like I was lucky enough to get one with a slip, so it's got the lenticular slip on
Same,
it.
same.
Very, very cool. Really enjoyed it. I love that it felt like it had a little bit of prestige to it. It was directed incredibly well.
Yeah.
Very early Stan Winston effects.
Mhm.
Very atmospheric. You know, you have Dan O'Bannon as he's listed as writer, but he just kind of, you know, glanced over the script quickly, you know, so his
Yeah, yeah.
involvement, especially after
I
Alien.
so I haven't watched the 4K yet, but I'm assuming the transfer is great.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about Blue Underground is that he's not obsessed with cleaning it up.
Mm.
So it is still grainy. It is still a little, you know, it's a little rough around the edges, but
Mhm.
there's just a deeper contrast to it that I very greatly admire. And, you know, and I went back and I went on YouTube and I just kind of watched some previous clips of it, and it looks substantially better, but it still looks like a movie from 1981.
Yeah.
So I
Interesting.
really, really love that.
Yeah,
And
I
then I
gotta check
also
that one out. I gotta check out that 4K. I have that.
it's sick, dude. Yeah,
I think I have that movie on like every format, to be honest with you.
great interview on there as well. There's an archival interview with Stan Winston about
I'll
where he
check it out
breaks
for
down
sure.
all
Yeah.
the effects, man. It's very, very cool. But then also the other night I watched John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars.
I saw you posted about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, dude. That was another one back in the day I just rented all the time, dude. I was obsessed with the idea that these monsters were throwing saw blades. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
It's funny. You know, it's interesting about that movie is I remember loving it. I remember watching that movie growing up with my dad. My dad was a big horror fan, and
mhm.
I remember watching it with him, and like we loved it. And then someone got the Scream 4K recently. Is that the one you got?
No. I have like a Mill Creek Blu-ray.
Okay, and maybe it was my buddy Jordan, and he like told me he was going in, he's about to watch it. And I was like, dude, it's fucking awesome. And he's like, what the hell did I just watch? And I was like, dude, that movie kicks ass. And I don't think he loved it, but I remember loving it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't age well. I do think it is still part of like the last great John Carpenter era because it's before the Ward, you know, which isn't all that.
Yep.
But you know, it still feels like Carpenter, and you have a really cool score where like John Carpenter got like Buckethead and a whole bunch of other guitarists involved to rip some riffs for it. You know, it's a little cheesy, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, supposedly, what is her name? That's it. Not Natasha. What's her name? The
Henstridge,
main Henstridge. Yeah.
the chick from
She.
Species.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
in an interview said that this movie was like the biggest piece of shit. So she just sort of like didn't get along with Carpenter and kind of moped along the whole thing, and you can kind of see that in her performance.
Interesting.
And also kind of seeing Ice Cube as like a Snake Plissken kind of style.
Man, I gotta rewatch this thing now.
Yeah, it's fun, man. That was a lot of fun to go back to. You know, you can't go into every movie with the mindset that you're gonna watch, you know, a classic. You know, sometimes you just gotta click play and go in with zero expectation and just take it at what it is.
Dude, 100%, man. That's like some of the fun of like, and again, like that's kind of where I'm at in my physical media journey. Is like just like I'm throwing darts at this point. Like I'm just like, what do you got for me? You know, I just watched a movie. You're gonna laugh. Okay, I don't know if there's any nudity on here, but someone posted this in a claim sale, and I was like, I gotta check it out. I can't even show it because there's nudity on the cover.
Right.
So I can do this. I'll take the slip off, but it's called Scissor Penis. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Dude, it is so absurd and so ridiculous, but like
Yeah.
I had so much fun with it. It's like a
Yeah.
super like underground like cat 3 like indie film,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, let's fucking rock, man. Like give me your weirdest shit.
Do you own any of the Sato sets from Vinegar Syndrome?
So
Or
I
did you-
don't, but we spoke about that. I'm 100% gonna grab them. I've been tracking the pink one, the first set.
Mhm.
It's at like 650 or something,
Mhm.
so it'll be around at the next sale. So if in May it's still, you know, if by May it will be around in May. So if it goes on sale, I'll grab it then. If not, I'll probably just grab it then.
Yeah, well, they're super sick, you know, when you get into like the pink films, because I don't think any of the movies on that set are like over 70 minutes long. So they're really fun. And then I just got it actually should be arriving. Well, the snow is probably going to delay it, but I just got coming in the Angel Guts trilogy from Third Window Films, which is a line of pretty notorious Pink U films. that I'm very excited to get into.
I feel like I've heard of that. The Angel Guts.
Yeah, they're called Angel Guts. Third Window Films just put out the Angel Guts trilogy box set, and they're pretty. Like there's a podcast I listen to called Perverse Permission. It's hosted by Sam Deegan, who is probably all over your media shelves. She does so many commentaries and visual essays and stuff. And she hosts that with Oscar Bait Pod and just dove into the Angel Guts movies. And it just so happened that right after their episode came out on it, Third Window announced their trilogy set with Sam Deegan on it. So talk to the movie room. They're sending me a review copy. I'm excited to get into it.
So I gotta do this real quick. Because you have me intrigued. But this is the set, right?
That is, well, is that the 74.90 only two? I think, hold on, let me check my movie. Let me check the movie room, because I think there was that one, and then that might be the one. There's a couple of them now. Let me just confirm real quick. Let me pull this up. Yeah, that's it. Yep. It's a digipack.
Oh, word. But is it a box set?
There is 5 films in it from 1979 to 1994.
Guts trilogy. Let me see this. I'm on Movie Room.
It's $74.99. Oh, it said right there 5 films.
And this is like Pinku stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty brutal. Like I mean the Pinku films were pretty brutal, but these are sort of like Takashi Ishii. He was kind of like a pioneer in the Pinku genre, from what I hear. Very part of like the line with like Hikashi Sato and guys like that, but I think Angel Guts is one of the longer lasting series that's been in the Pinku trilogy. So I'm excited to give it a run. And supposedly they were in pretty rough shape. Like at one point, some of the movies were like completely unavailable to find in any format.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm intrigued, man. I just pulled it up on Diabolic, but I'm intrigued for sure. You have my attention, sir. This is what I love. Like you help me out with all these good foreign film recs.
And dude, I'm nothing, bro. There's people who tell me about these, you know what I mean, who I learned through podcasts and stuff. And that's why I always, like, I guess just to kind of like round this out before I go back to Survivor, I guess the point is like just take a chance on stuff. And like,
totally.
Anytime I talk to somebody and we talk about, like learning the genre or anything, you have to have the ability to just read and learn and listen and take in information and try it out for yourself. And
100%.
The cool thing about movies is that we all have our own opinion. We talked about Suitable Flesh. You liked it, I didn't. We all have our opinion, but I think what's most important is that in order to form that opinion, you have to click play and dive into it. And that's what's most important. It's not the opinion. It's not how fast you can log it on Letterboxd, and I'm a firm believer in pulling out those booklets, reading them, clicking on the interviews. There's times when I've watched movies and I don't like them, maybe because I don't understand them. And then I listen to an interview with the director that's an hour and a half long on the Blu Ray, and I go back and watch it again because I've learned a new viewpoint to watch it from. And sometimes that's what it takes, and not everyone's willing to do that, and that's perfectly fine. But if you have the ability and the interest to, definitely do. Physical media is education, and I will preach that all day long.
Yeah, 100%, man. Listen, Chris is a real one, man. If you guys don't follow him over on social media, definitely go give him a follow at Bearded Film Guy. Beyond the Blood podcast. He's got a few other things going on. I'll drop his socials below, but he's a real one, man. This is like a totally random impromptu show, man. I appreciate you coming on. We did the damn thing. I have a whole list of things here that I was like, we'll get to this, get to this, get to this. We got to none of it. So I so appreciate the conversation. And that's what it was, man. It's just an honest, open conversation about movies, about physical media, about horror. I had a blast, man. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, bro, listen, man, I appreciate it so much, man. Thanks for having me, and hope to get on here again soon with you, dude.
Yeah. 100%, dude. And you're always welcome. Always, always, always. Let me leave you with something fun here before we head out. What do I got here? Let's do. Here we go.
They're eating her. What are they going eat me.
All right, so I'm Miles of Horror, guys. This is Chris over at Bearded Film Guy. We appreciate y'all hanging out. If you are still here, we got about 6 people still hanging out. Be sure to hit that like button before you head out, and I appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Thank you, guys. See you, man.